And to help us understand this a little better, we have with us Subimal Bhattacharjee, IT and cybersecurity expert. Thank you very much, Mr. Bhattacharjee. Now, discussions on regulation have been going on for at least 3 years. So do you think now the world understands enough to regulate AI at this stage of the technology evolution?
Mark, absolutely. I think 21st April 2021, when the legislation was approached by the European Union, and finally now the decks are all cleared for the first artificial intelligence legislation to be placed anywhere in the world. So in this 3 years, or rather 2.5 years period of time, I think there has been a lot of understanding of artificial intelligence and its implication all across the globe. Courtesy, you can say, ChatGPT, which was put across in November 2022. And since then, everywhere a lot of engagements are happening about how to look at this sector, artificial intelligence, from a regulatory perspective also. Now, the European Union, as they have taken a big step when it came to privacy also, or regulating the digital markets, have taken upon themselves that they have to be on top even when it comes to artificial intelligence regulation, and that was the approach.
Yes.
Now, what were the main parameters? That's basically that the artificial intelligence landscape has to be safe and transparent.
Okay.
And so on 14th June, when the members of European Parliament passed the legislation, and then they sort of took a call that before the end of the year they have to conclude this process of consultation with the member countries, etc. Now, in the last 3 days, they have held marathon meetings, and finally they are at that stage. So we are at a stage we'll see the legislation. And
Indeed.
I think there has been a lot of work. So to answer your question, I think there is a lot of wisdom that has gone in, external factors as well as all the internal confabulations that they have done to bring out such a legislation.
Okay, indeed. Now, India is also a member of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, GPAI. And India is going to be hosting the GPAI summit in a few days from now. EU is also a member of GPAI. So what are your expectations?
India, as the chair of the GPI now, on the 12th to the 14th, is hosting the summit in New Delhi, and the Prime Minister himself is inaugurating it. So the attention to artificial intelligence in India, both the positive aspects as well as the concerns when it comes to the harm side, have been there. I think the generation of concerns and the understanding and digestion at various levels have happened. I think we are short of definitely the legislation part, but the usage of artificial intelligence in various aspects of governance, as well as the sectoral areas in which the application of artificial intelligence enhances capabilities, that has been a focus, whether it was the Niti Aayog's job or even the expert committee that has been put in place. But the regulatory aspects, I think this is also something that India is now looking at. It has participated. In fact, the Minister of State was there at the London AI Summit last month. And even in the United Nations also, the confabulations that have started on artificial, India has been a part of it. So the overall digital space, the tech space, India has been very active in terms of, how do you look at it from all the angles, including the regulatory aspects. So I think GPAI as conference or summit is happening at the right time in India. There are a lot of areas in which real conversations will happen to be able to pin down on the concerns. I think how do you build up a trusted AI ecosystem is something that everyone wants globally. Even if you look at the US right now, the senators have just completed their 9 rounds of conversation with the industry as well as all the stakeholders. So even they are also looking at it. So maybe there has been a light approach both in India and the US for a long time when it came to the regulatory aspect. I think that might still be the premise, but everyone is on top of it. No
Okay,
one is
but
just leaving it
but Mr.
aside.
Bhattacharjee, if we look at China now, China seems to have created a near surveillance state, and this had raised fears also of Chinese technology across the world. It's been happening for some time. What is the ideal balance then between regulation and allowing for innovation, which you call the light approach, which India has taken?
No, I think even if you look at China, Mark, earlier this year, they also brought out a stringent set of regulations when it came to artificial intelligence and the products and capabilities that can come out, whether from the private sector or the international product. But looking at the way that they have been playing in the digital space, there isn't real confidence across the world, including India. They have been doing all kinds of surveillance, and the fear is that if they use artificial intelligence for enhancing such kind of capabilities of creating concerns of thrusting more cyber attacks around the globe, I think these are concerns. So while innovation will have to be factored in by everyone, to be able to jumpstart a lot of the possibilities, on the medical field, a cure for some of the long-standing diseases and all, or even drug discovery, these are having phenomenal progress across. So you cannot stop the innovation, but at the same time, you have to see that you have some certain guardrails. So I think the European Union's effort always, they are seen to be a little bit more stringent than what everyone, thinks who are more, you can say, more around the tech innovation ecosystem. But by and large, the fairness, the transparency, the possibility to be able to go and look back, I think all of these things have been put in place. So by and large, everyone will have to factor in such kind of concerns and build up their own legislation or regulatory regime. I think as of now, even the intermediary guidelines, regulations that have been put by the government, they are capable enough to cover if any kind of things are seen to be concerning in the country. So I think we are good for now. But as you rightly say, the government's approach is to keep the right balance between innovation as well as regulation. So far, I think we are good.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. Subimal Bhattacharjee, IT and cybersecurity expert, for enlightening us on this.